Let's talk WWE Hell in the Cell. Now, 2021, there's some bright spots coming up in the world. Things are going to get back to normal. Fans are going to be back at not only professional sports, but also professional wrestling. AEW has been doing it for a while now, and now WWE will be doing the same. They're going to have fans back starting next month. Hell in the Cell 2021 was the last pay-per-view they said that will be in the Thunderdome without fans. So, from what we can expect from here on out is that there will be fans at pay-per-views, and I'm hoping that translates over to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and NXT has done a little bit of this where they've had a little bit of fans in attendance, but hopefully there'll be more, because I'll tell you what, last week when Samoa Joe returned, if that place was full, that place would have blown up. But let's talk about Hell in the Cell. Let's get into Hell in the Cell. Hell in the Cell 2021, not really one to write home about, to be honest with you. I watched begrudgingly because I felt like that pay-per-view was just... I can't explain how I felt. That was a very... And there's going to be people who disagree with me, but that pay-per-view was a very boring pay-per-view. I cannot... It sucked. I thought it sucked. I thought the pay-per-view was terrible. Let's look at some of the biggest matches of the card. Okay, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Supposed to be one of the biggest matches. What happens? Rhea Ripley causes DQ to win that match. She lost the match, but she keeps her title. All right, so if you have a big-time match like this, and you're going to keep doing this throughout the night, it's not a good look. You got Rhea Ripley intentionally DQing herself to lose the match but keep her title, as to one-up Charlotte a little bit, show her that she can hang or she can do these devious tricks too. I get that. But to do it once a night, that's one thing. But then you have other things going on. Seth Rollins versus Cesaro is supposed to be a pretty big match. No title involved, that's fine. It's still a big match. You don't need to have a title for it to be a big match. And Cesaro got the win on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, so what will happen at Hell in the Cell? Well, Seth Rollins gets a surprise roll-up on Cesaro for the win. Is that really exciting to you? Because to me, that kind of stinks. Nobody wants to see that stuff anymore, especially not throughout the whole night. So Seth Rollins gets the win over Cesaro. People are questioning Cesaro's push, which I still am not. I still feel like there's something in store for Cesaro. I feel like the win over Seth Rollins at WrestleMania was a pretty big deal. I think this win Seth Rollins had over Cesaro was just a way to even it out so that this rivalry can continue and that they can have another match, perhaps at Money in the Bank, and if not there, then maybe SummerSlam. Who knows? This is what I would like to think. This is what I would like to hope, because I've been somebody who's been behind Cesaro forever, and I would like to see Cesaro do something. And when I say do something, I mean win the WWE Championship, Universal Championship, whichever one he's on the show of. It's more meaningful to me if he wins the WWE Championship, but since he's on SmackDown and the Universal title is there, I would still like to see him win that Universal title. I think the man deserves a little bit of a push and a little bit of a chance with the Universal Championship. So I think that they'll face each other again, and I think this time Cesaro will get the win, I hope. But who knows? Moving on, we got Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell match, and for some reason, this one really rubbed me the wrong way. I think I was watching because I felt like there was a chance that something could happen. There's been rumblings of Karrion Kross being backstage at SmackDown and at Hell in the Cell, so you thought maybe Karrion Kross would show up either during the match or after to make a statement or attack the winner or attack the loser or whatever. I thought he would be there at some kind of capacity, or also there's been rumblings of Brock Lesnar. So I wanted to watch. I wanted to see if Brock Lesnar would show up and destroy everybody like he normally does, and that wasn't the case. Brock Lesnar didn't show up. Karrion Kross didn't show up, and actually the match itself didn't really show up for me either. It's people are going to complain and say that we're being too nitpicky and whatever, but WWE has a problem, and they have many problems, to be honest with you, but one of their biggest problems is doing the same thing over and over and over again, and that can mean many things. That could be way matches are won or lost. They do that over and over again. The way people are pushed, they do it over and over again. The certain people that get the chances, they do that over and over again. And it's just a problem at this point where you just can't bear to watch anymore. I have a hard time watching WWE programming. I don't watch Raw anymore. I don't really watch SmackDown that much anymore. And honestly, I barely watch NXT, and then I love NXT. Sometimes I know we think that WWE doesn't listen to us, but sometimes when it's too overbearing, they have no other choice but to listen. And I think with the whole pandemic and the fans not being there, I think a lot of professional sports, not just wrestling, just sports in general, I feel like they have taken fans for granted a little bit. And I think it's one of those situations where you don't realize what you have until it's gone. It puts things in perspective. And I think with fans coming back in all sports and in wrestling, I think it's just going to make the performers, it's going to take them to a different level. It might give them a bigger passion than what they've ever had, or it might relight it again for them, which you love to see. And you just want that again. You want that feeling again. And I honestly really miss having fans in the stands. I'm going to AEW next month. They will be here in Charlotte, and I can't wait to go see them. I just bought tickets last week or 2 weeks ago, and it's going to be a blast. And I'm thinking of maybe going to WWE. It's a live dark show. I think that happens in August, and I really want to go to that too. Because it's been so long. I haven't been to a wrestling show in forever. Obviously no one has. It's the pandemic. So they're coming back, and I want to get it going. But yeah, so to wrap up my thoughts, I mean, you might have been a fan of Hell in the Cell. Me, I could have done without it. I feel like I wasted. It was a long pay-per-view. That thing lasted almost until 11, so it was almost 3 hours. I didn't watch the pre-show, which I think was Natalia and Tamina versus Mandy and Dana, I think. I'm not interested. There's just too much that's going on that I don't like, and I'm not interested in WWE. I'm just not. Honestly, the match I was looking forward to the most at Hell in a Cell was Bianca Belair and Bayley, which was a pretty good match, and also the Seth Rollins and Cesaro match, which was a pretty decent match until the very end. I didn't like the finish of that, but I think I understood it. If that's where they're going to go with it, I'm okay with it. If it means that they're going to fight again and that Cesaro might get his win to beat the tiebreaker. But okay, that's it for now. Let me know what you think about Hell in the Cell. I didn't really care for it, but tell me what you think. Leave it in the comments. I'm interested to know how you felt about Hell in the Cell and the actual pay-per-view itself. The product itself is what I meant to say. The product itself, WWE. Tell me how you feel about WWE. Tell me what you're looking forward to the most. For me, it's the fans, and hopefully that leads things in different directions now. But yeah, let me know. Until then, stay bitter.
Wicked bitter.